think we can now say that the Grand Library is complete. Next, we'll need to find somewhere to put the bird stands, cushions, and deposit boxes. Ah, hello there, traveler, Paimon. Thanks to your help, the library repairs are basically complete. It's really starting to look the part.
What about that other stuff you just mentioned? Are you planning on putting all that in the library too?
Yes. That said, it's too big of a job for me to handle alone. I was planning on getting some of our more skilled artisans to help out. The Grand Library is open to humans and animals alike. Since we have furniture for humans to sit down on, there should naturally be some for the animals too.
Huh. Yeah, that does kind of make sense.
Those are the ones I used to use when the little animals came to talk to me about their struggles. I'd originally planned to make some new ones, but some of the animals are nostalgic for the older items, so we brought them along too.
Wait, animals tell you their struggles? Like a therapy session? Kinda sounds like an ice bathhouse for animals.
This is one of my duties as Moon Chanter. I would not call it hard work. And it's true. All living things have a need to feel heard. I have always encouraged everyone to come to me without reservation, whatever troubles they may be facing. Hiding your thoughts deep in your heart will not solve anything. In fact, it often makes the problem worse. Oh, well, I've never looked at the numbers, but my sense is that the animals consult me more often. After all, my daily routine is more or less the same as that of my people, and they don't usually come during work hours. It's only when I have free time that I get the occasional human visitor. Animals, on the other hand, lead very different routines from us. Sheik badgers tend to visit in the early morning hours, while ibises often drop by after sunrise. Finches come in flocks during the afternoon, chirping and chattering away. The rhyme-horned deer visit at dusk, mostly alone, though sometimes with one or two friends. And once night has fallen, I get the odd weasel thief burrowing into my home.
Oh, but that leaves you with no time to yourself at all.
It truly is. There was one time when a weasel thief stole some pine cones that a group of finches was hoarding. It must have been around 20 finches that flew to my bedside in the dead of night to protest the transgression. I had to ask a sniffer mole who I'd just been chatting with to invite the weasel thief over. It took a lot of work to convince it to reveal where the pine cones were. By the time all parties were satisfied and ready to leave, the sun was up. I slept in till past noon that day.
Paimon would have given up and gone back to sleep long before you did. And probably pulled a blanket over her head first to block out the noise.
Since they'd taken the trouble to come to me, I felt I had a duty to help them. And the results made it all worthwhile. After getting everything off their chests, the finches went back to happily hopping around, and the weasel thief went off in search of new, exciting treasure. But humans are less forthcoming than animals. Too often, they hide their true feelings in the deepest corners of their hearts. Even those who come to me for guidance, I feel as if they tell me only part of the story, leaving out what truly burdens their soul. Perhaps they are unwilling to say it out loud, to face the real issues head on. Human society often encourages people to hide their true selves. It is not dissimilar to the way that some butterflies hide away in a withered leaf and camouflage their wings to match their environment. Social interactions between humans can be complex and difficult. Everyone has their way of coping, and I don't judge them for it. Nonetheless, suppressing one's true feelings can easily lead to melancholy and depression. Deep-seated issues like that are difficult to resolve, no matter what advice I give. So I had an idea. I thought, what if I could find a way to bring complicated human minds and straightforward animal ones together? Maybe by spending some time around each other, both could experience a new perspective. It was with that in mind that I renovated the Grand Library and turned it into what it is today. Spacious and well-ventilated, and open to humans and animals to come and go as they please. Except maybe on rainy days, when they're looking for shelter. But the rest of the time, people can visit whenever they want, to spend time with the animals, browse books, rest, and enjoy the sun. And perhaps the company of our dear animal friends, who will not be driven away by anything they say, might encourage people to open their hearts and share the truth of what lies within.
Wow, you really put a lot of thought into this library renovation. Oh, it sounds great to Paimon. Hugging fluffy animals, lounging in a chair all day without a care in the world. Just thinking about it makes Paimon feel all warm and fuzzy.
Of course. Your assistance with the renovation works was invaluable. It should go without saying that the Library of the Frost Moon Scions shall always be open to you.
Huh? That's not the price we agreed on. What do you think you're playing at?
Dear Miss Yehoda, if you manage to return the object of your next commission intact, then I assure you your reward will be paid in full.
It wasn't my fault. How was I supposed to know a bunch of monsters were gonna jump me out of nowhere and knock me into that river?
Might I also ask that you don't spread so much misinformation to our clients when you're escorting them in the future?
I wasn't spreading misinformation. Most of what I said was based firmly on the truth.
The master bandit who has stolen from every town and village in Nodcry.
That was just me trying to sound cool. No one told me the client was from the Fontaine Guards. She wouldn't stop questioning me the whole way. That woman takes herself too seriously. No sense of humor at all. I can't believe she asked the guild to revoke my membership.
The fixer who protects all of Nasha Town.
I was talking about Boss Neff. I was telling the client about her.
Regardless, Miss Yehoda, if you wish to take on any more commissions in the future, it would be best.
I know. Be careful what you do and say. Boss Neff's always yammering on at me. But my mouth gets all itchy when I don't use it too long.
Perhaps you could take a few pointers from our experienced adventurer here.
The Traveler? I guess he's not the worst person to learn from. But you're gonna need to wait for me to take this reward back to Boss Neff first. She ain't gonna be happy that it's not the full amount. I feel a lecture coming.
Fortunately, we were able to minimize the harm. Only a few townspeople were hurt. But the Raihir of Solnari has now gained a complete form, while we still know nothing about his goals.
It seems we have done something akin to releasing a vicious cuckoosaur into the wild. I'm sorry. Is no one here familiar with cuckoosaurs?
Paimon knows what you mean, but that analogy seems more than slightly understated.
He said that this world means nothing to him, so it is possible that he doesn't have a reason to fight us at the moment. If his objective had been revenge alone, we would likely have no recourse.
Is there a still time for me to tender my resignation? Just kidding, just kidding. Don't worry, boss. I know there's no running now.
So my canon, my pride and joy was a hindrance rather than a help. Ugh, you know what? I'm gonna dismantle it right now. That's right. And it still works on normal Wild Hunt anomalies. Don't let this get you down, I know.
Flint's, we'll need you to attend to the aftermath with the Lightkeepers. Don't worry, I've explained everything to them. You're in the clear.
My thanks. For that and for everything else I hear you did to help us arrive at the truth.
Had you been willing to show yourself in public more often, you would not have been so easy to isolate, you know.
Point taken. I will give that some thought. I suppose that's one way I'd benefit from replacing Sergeant Major Sosi.
You mean you're being promoted? Was Paimon the only one who didn't get that?
Well, if you've got a moment, would you like to come with me? There's a certain gentleman I'd like to send off on his final journey. This man was like a lighthouse. Here he lived as if it were a mere matter of course, and brought light and grace to those around him. But slowly, gradually, he came to think as such himself. I have achieved too little. I must do better. There is more work to be done. Perhaps his end was tragic. But I remain proud of the way in which he illuminated the path for others. Every shadow born of the light shall remember it.
Oh, poor guy.
I've heard that one too. Is that so? Well, you're right. It may seem that our efforts were in vain, that Rerir achieved his goals, but we will pursue him to the last, even if the outcome is not what we wish for. It is not dissimilar to the role of a graveyard keeper. We do not seek to bring the dead back to life, only to grant them peace.
Oh, what are you two talking about? Care to explain? Okay.
Either way, the Lantern Fae is not playing the leading role in these final rites. Lightbearer, with your blood you have paved the road to glory and justice. Even as we hurry on, bruised and battered though we may be, stay a while and look back upon the world and all its love and hatred, until it closes its eyes in the depths of night, and a lantern lit for you alone flickers softly into life. Thank you for everything, Sergeant Major Sosi.
Do you have someone else you'd like to meet? What are you doing here?
Was it not you who recommended such walkabouts to me?
Yeah, but aren't you afraid the Fatui will see you?
Zandrone seems uninterested in my capture, and the others are unlikely to risk making contact at all. They have more troublesome affairs to deal with.
Well, it's good to come out for a walk either way. So, how do you feel? Is Nasha Town to your liking?
The flow of Kuvaki is somewhat turbulent, and the people are ill at ease. However, is this where you purchased the dishes you treated me to?
Are you serious? That's what she's concerned about? Berries and fried meat? Well, we can take you to grab a bite if you'd like to. There's all sorts of delicious stuff out here that you won't get to try at home.
You've been quite subdued. Thorny questions on your mind, perhaps? I could not gain any insight into his schemes, I fear. Now that he has donned a shape and form, selling his power short would prove a fatal error. But that power of his plays host to an obsession that borders on mania. I cannot say if that fixation is directed at the moons or at something else. Perhaps understanding the subject of his fixation shall prove key to repelling him in the future. Well, Zandrone's daily routine is highly irregular, while the doctor often orders people around. As for Arlecchino... Was that not what you were curious about? Well then, have you been to that experimental design bureau of theirs? That weapon will play a key role in the Tsaritsa's plan. That's what I've heard, anyway. And what plan is that precisely? Well, I cannot say I care. I could look into the Eternal Moon's marrow for you if you wish it so. But after our previous attempt, I suspect your spaceship has been intentionally hidden away. Perhaps someone has certain truths they wish to hide from you, or from others. And I doubt there are many who could accomplish such a feat. I still wish to return to the moon that belongs to me. That is where the answers lie buried. That is my true home.
Interesting. You followed me this far. Why not show your face?
Haha! Right! Right you are. I forgot to introduce myself. The name's Varka, Knight of Boreas, and Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius.
One man.
It's been a few days since we said bye to the others in Nasha Town. Still no news about Rarer, though. Where could he have slunk off to? If only he was gone for good. But with all the trouble he stirred up before, there's no way we've seen the last of him.
Hello! You must be the traveler in Paimon? Mr. Flint has been looking for you. Unfortunately, there's been a serious wild hunt attack over at the quarry. He thinks it's time to regroup and figure out a plan.
The wild hunt? Oh, uh-oh. We better get over there, right away! Come on, let's go!
I can barely sense any Kuvaki at all. This whole area feels like a soulless husk.
Looks like his appetite truly is insatiable. As if the power of that energy cannon wasn't enough.
He's not seriously still getting stronger? What's his endgame here?
Ah, everyone's here already. Hey, we made it. So, what's going on?
We've all been on high alert since we split up a few days back, expecting Rerir to strike again. But it's like he just vanished into thin air. No one has seen him nor found any trace of his presence. That is, until this morning, when a ratnik found signs of wild hunt activity while out here on patrol. As you can see, the crystalline itself is physically intact, but the Kuvaki it contained is all but completely diminished.
And we're sure that Rerir did this. Who else? He's the only one who could pull off a stunt like this.
Kuvaki loss has reached critical levels. Reikir of Solnari set to maximum threat level. Warning, unless de-escalation measures are taken soon, he will pose a threat beyond our ability to contain. The consequences could be catastrophic.
Traveler, do you remember when we encountered Rerir just after regaining his body? There wasn't a shred of sanity left. Nothing but madness and rage.
Yeah, didn't he shout out a bunch of names? Then he started raving about how nothing in this world mattered to him. Oh, Paimon gets chills just thinking about it. Oh, but the thought that he's still out there, lurking somewhere in Notcry, waiting for his chance to strike? Oh, even chillier.
Last time we fought, we were already at a disadvantage. If he has such overwhelming strength, why would he suddenly go into hiding?
Yeah, if I were him and I wanted more Kuvaki, I'd just take it by force. No point staying in the shadows. Unless something went wrong. His whole resurrection thing didn't exactly go smoothly.
The other thing is, how does someone who's completely lost their mind still have the wherewithal to cover their tracks so perfectly?
Beats me.
According to certain medical studies, insanity does not always entail a complete loss of rationality. It may be that he is simply living in a world of his own.
That actually sounds about right. He was ranting away to himself the whole time, like he had zero interest in talking to us.
There are many unanswered questions here. He could be right under our noses, and we'd still be in the dark. Besides his name and title, we know little about him. Certainly nothing about his past, or what he might be hoping to achieve.
Exactly. And we wouldn't even know where to begin looking. Even Boss hadn't heard of the Reikir of Solnari before all this. I'd be willing to bet that even if we gathered together every scrap of intel in Nodcry, we still wouldn't find more than, like, 3 useful facts about him.
So, if we do nothing, he'll just keep getting stronger. But if we want to investigate him, we have no idea where to look. Last time we had Marionette and her big robo-buddy to help us, and we still barely held our ground. If we had to face him alone... Oh, Paimon's head hurts just thinking about it. What are we supposed to do against a threat this big?
Well, I do have a little hunch about his next move. Given that he attacked the quarry, I'd say it's likely he'll target other places rich in Kuvaki. Somewhere like the Eye of Krati, or the Pillar of Embla. One thing's for sure. If we just sit back and let him keep absorbing Kuvaki, we really won't stand a chance against him.
A perfectly reasonable hypothesis. However, it is worth noting that these two locations are quite far apart. To investigate them both, we'll need to split up.
I agree, we should split up. Right now, Rerir's goal seems to be gathering Kuvaki, not fighting us directly. Once we're done, let's regroup on Hisi Island.
Wait, why Hisi Island?
If I recall correctly, your largest goddess statue was carved from Kuvaki-rich ore, was it not?
That's right. Yes, it could well be a potential target of his. I should head back and start evacuating the pilgrims.
Splitting up's always gonna be risky. But I guess we don't have much choice, right? We're in a race against time here. And if we do run into Rear, what then?
That's when you follow the third rule of treasure hunting. Run like the wind.
Didn't you say the third rule was go with the flow?
I don't know. Did I? Anyway, whatever. In this situation, go with the flow means go find backup.
Agreed. If anyone finds so much as a trace of Rerir, do not pursue him. Get out of the area and alert the rest of us as soon as possible. We need to put safety first.
All right, we'd better get moving. Come on, Anetha, let's go.